Today, our focus is the top 5 ships in the game for exploration. Anytime you do a list like this, there will surely be people who disagree or have a different list, so make sure you leave your top 5 list in the comments below so people can see what your list looks like, because that is why we do things like this. Not to be the definitive voice on the issue, but to start a conversation. We won't fully review these ships, just a few notes about why we like them. You'll have to check out our Review Every Ship by CitizenCon 2024 playlist if you want a more in-depth look at these ships. Also, this list is as of 3.22.1. I'll try to do a new one for each patch if the list changes. So this one is really going to be based on the best exploration ships. This is going to span all sizes and all ships. We don't have exploration gameplay in the game yet, so this is just based on what we know. But best exploration can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. We'll try to explain why we think each ship earns its spot based on our understanding of exploration. Let's get started with number 5. The Drake Corsair at $250. This has to make the list, as it is the DPS king of the game, but also a solid explorer ship. I used being able to explore Pyro and survive as one of the ways I decided this list, and this would not only survive it, it would flourish in Pyro. It might end up being the best ship to take to that dangerous system, or any dangerous system. I mean, this thing outperforms an Inferno when it comes to taking down large ships, along with having full crew facilities and carrying 72 SCU of cargo. It also has a full scanning suite. This is the explorer you take when you know for sure there will be a fight along the way. And people say it's a glass cannon, but its hull HP has been really solid from my experience. It's a top tier ship for me, especially when it comes to exploration and when you have to fight during that exploration. Moving on, number 4, the Constellation Aquilla or Aquila. I'll be calling it Aquila for this one, at $315. Well, if the Corsair is the DPS king, the Constellation Aquila is the hull HP king. This thing is the toughest ship on this list, well, at least as far as we know now. Able to take a beating, not to mention its weaponry is only second to the Corsair. It comes with an Ursa and a snub ship, the P-52 Merlin, so you can explore pretty much anything right out of the box. It adds a dedicated science station that the Corsair does not have. I've talked at length about this ship, so I won't go into too much detail. Go check out my Constellation Redux videos if you want to know a lot more about this ship. But this ship is a beast when it comes to weaponry, defense, cargo capacity, and just overall usability. And that's why it's number 4 on my best explorers list. On to the next one, number 3, the 600i Explorer at $475. Now I have to caveat this by saying this is only because of what we know is coming in the rework. This is the first ship on our list so far that has a medical bay, and a tier 2 one at that, which being an explorer ship already pushes it in front of the Corsair and Aquila. But it also comes with mapping tables, a garage, a G12 rover, extra hardpoints for utility attachments. It can fit any in-game vehicle in it, including a tank, while also keeping its same cargo capacity. It also has a dedicated armory and a decent set of guns and missiles. And it has special lightweight armor plating that allows it to fly faster than similarly armored ships. With all that going for it, it still only has a crew requirement of 2. If you want to fly alone, you could get the Corsair, but you'll miss the medbay, vehicle, cargo space. If you want a tougher ship, you could get the Aquila, but you'll miss the medbay, speed, and again, the cargo space. I don't know if I would call it a sleeper, but I know most people are using it as a luxury ship. But I plan on fully pushing this to the extremes of exploration. The luxury is just a, well, luxury. And that cockpit view and rear observation is absolutely unmatched. Even the 890 jump, you have to go to specific or certain private rooms to get the same experience. So when I think exploration, the 600i Explorer model is the first ship on the list that meets all the criteria for what I think makes the best of the best exploration ships. Moving on. For number 2, we have the Anvil Carrick at $650. Yeah, I know, putting the Carrick at number 2 is already going to make some alarms go off for some of you, but why is it there? The Carrick will travel further than any other ship on this list without having to stop. It has repair on board, it has medical on board, it comes with an Ursa and a Pisces. It has an advanced holo map table and chart mapping sensors. It carries 456 SCU of cargo, and on top of all that, it's modular. Oh, and did I mention it's one of the fastest ships in the game? It's legitimately going to be one of the best overall ships in the game when it gets all of its features and exploration gameplay is live, of course. So why is it second? Mainly it's second because it has to come back. At some point, it will run out of fuel, whether hydrogen or quantum, and that will mean it has to stop somewhere and refuel. All ships will eventually run out of something, so all ships will have to return to base at some point. Or well, maybe not all ships. But the Carrick is still the best multi-role ship on this list, even more so than number 1. But as far as exploration specifically, it's my number 2 pick, and that is no small feat. Before we move on to my number 1, as always, my honorable mention. Well, again, stop me if you've seen this before, because yes, again, I mean, blame CIG for making this ship do a lot, not me. It can do research, it can do science, and it's the only ship with that, and the only ship with the telescope, meaning instead of needing to explore, it can just look at what's out there. It also has extra fuel, extra crew capacity, and extra landing pads. This might end up being the best explorer ship in the game because it might never need to come back, but there are so many questions about it. It must stay relegated to the honorable mentions. But this ship has already been an honorable mention, so as a bonus, I'm including one more honorable mention. That little tiny cutter, that Drake cutter at $45 is my honorable mention. And we're talking about the base model. It's the cheapest explorer in the game, and it can carry a small vehicle along with it, that STV. With having necessary creature comforts, it's also the best value exploration ship in the game. However, technically it's listed as a light freight. So if you want to be technical, you can get the 315P, but I'm telling you, the cutter will do great at exploration. It has great mileage. It has decent little set of guns. It can fit a little vehicle. I'm telling you, the cutter, it's one of the best starter ships that CIG has ever created. So I would say pick the cutter if you really want that dedicated exploration. I guess you could say 315P, but I'm gonna say cutter for my honorable mention, just to kind of give you an extra, so I don't always have the MISC Endeavor being my honorable mention on all of these. All right, on to number 1. Yes, you might have guessed it. It's the capital ship for explorers, the Odyssey at number 1. The Odyssey at $700. It can go out and never come back to base because it can mine and refine its own fuel. The Odyssey has a capital shield generator, 3 size 5 remote turrets, 4 size 3 missile racks. That's top tier offense and defense. It has a tractor beam, so it can move anything into and out of its 252 SCU cargo bay just as well as any dedicated cargo ship. It has a tier 2 med bay and a massive hangar that can fit all the way up to a size 3 depending on the dimensions of that size 3. On top of all that, it's soloable. The biggest knock on this ship is that it doesn't come with a snub or a land vehicle like the other top picks on the list. But then I'm like, well, it had to be balanced somehow. People say it can't repair. They're right, it can't. But the Aegis Vulcan can fit in its hangar. That's repair, rearm, and refuel. The vehicle hangar can fit any size vehicle, not just limited to the Ursa size. And it's separate from the cargo. With all that said, it's basically the dedicated explorer ship going against the more multi-role Carrick, which has other capabilities. So depending on your needs, I can see why some might put the Carrick as their number 1, but this is the best explorer ship list. And being able to go where no man has gone before, even if it takes me longer to scan and map the jump points, is much more meaningful to me as an explorer than anything else. And the Odyssey does that and does it very, very well. So there you have it. Our top 5 explorer ships to purchase as of 3.22.1. Let us know your top 5 in the comments and stay tuned for our next top 5 list, which is probably going to be fleet defense, but we'll see. We suggest renting ships and trying them out for yourself before you make a decision. It's your money after all, but no matter what ship you get, I want to be clear, no ship will be a perfect ship. You'll always have to get the right ship for the right job, and everything will be pushed to be balanced. So it's more important to pick a ship that you like, you don't mind flying, and can have the most fun with. If you don't like the gameplay of the ship, you won't have any fun, and that's the true point of the game, right? Stay tuned for our next video where we will be providing our monthly channel update and announcing the winners of the March 2024 ship and skin contest. All right, that's it for this one. Thanks for spending your time with us. See you in the next one. Peace.